Hey guys, welcome back. So tonight I'm doing something a little different. I'm on the Creators Edition of American Farmlands. This is my map. You've heard me talk about it before. I built this for the community 6 or 7 months ago, and I've been just kind of playing with the idea of adding some things to it to make it more for me, for what I like. And I mean, I kind of built it that way anyway, but it just kind of has become morphed into more of that over the last few months. So this is brand new save. I have the date rolled back to March because I like to start in the spring. Uh, Let me give you a little tour, and we'll show you what's what here. So you will notice there is no NPCs on this map because I can't stand them. I don't understand why they're in the game to begin with. I don't like them, and ugh. Anyway, that's just me. Excuse me, guys. I apologize. My throat's a little dry tonight. But yeah. So essentially, you start out here at the farmhouse, and again, this would all be green grass if it wasn't winter. But I mean, it's just coming into spring. So I'm using the standard in-game farmhouse and barn here. First thing you'll notice in here is you do have a truck. There's collectibles all around the map as well, so you'll have to find those. So they're the same ones from the base game maps. Well, I guess they're all the same, so it would be from the... and then up here you got some chickens. You start out with a few chickens. Just a little chicken coop that I put together a while back, and I like it, so I use it. There's a lot of little mods like that in here that I made for my own personal use, and I ended up in the map. So this is the pond, and this pond started out as just a pond for filling water bowsers, and then you'll notice there's fish, animated fish in there. Well, I put those in just for the fun, for looks. And then now we have this fishing thing going on, and it turns out you can fish in this pond if you'd like. So we have that there, and then it runs off into a creek that runs off down the property. Okay? It's a spring. It's natural spring. Good water if you want to drink it. It ran over a little bit. You can see it's slow water over here. And there's a fill point here. This is your water fill point. So if you want to fill your tanks off of this pond, you just pull up here and fill them. I do have a fish farm mod that I built just after the game, after we got to fishing in the game, and it's going to sit right by this tree right here. It'll sit right here, and I'll put that down so we can put fish food in it, and we'll get trout and salmon out. That does require the DLC though, so if you don't have the Highlands DLC, that's not going to work. But it is included in the download, so that in case you have the Highlands DLC. Oh, somebody left the door open in the shop. What's this about? So these are all these buildings came from. These are all ICUS. I think that's how you say it. ICUS buildings. You can see up in the storage area up there. There's a pallet storage area up there. So there is. If you come over here, you will see in the trigger down there on the lower right, seeds and fertilizer and lime. It's all over in the up over the overhead over there. There. Yes, and you can get them out over here. If you hit the I've got the icons turned off, but it's right about here. You can see you can select them, and then they'll spawn outside the door. So we don't need them right this second. So and if you do have the DLC, again, then you'll find fish food in here. That's going to go to the fish pond. There's a staircase here. You can go up to where this stuff is stored, and you can see there's still quite a lot of room for stuff up here. What's interesting is you can walk right through it because it's not actually here. You know what I mean? You know how it works. But it's just, you can see how much room there is for storage up here. There's just a ton. If you want to, just about any kind of pallet you want to store, you can store up here. So yeah, I asked Icus about using the buildings, and he was like, yeah, go ahead, use them. So I totally enjoy these buildings, so I've been using them. There's 3 buildings here on the map that are his. There's that one, this long barn over here, and then this big shed over here. And this one here is just a cold storage shed. It's just got a lot of equipment in it. It does have a drive-through bay on one end, which is kind of nice. Again, look for collectibles because there are some kicking around. Here's your big green combine. And this is not the one I would normally keep on the map, but this is a starting one, so we have to do something. I sell it pretty quickly and buy a different machine because I use a modded one because I like a specific set of machines. Fuel right here. So you can buy fuel and fill these tanks. There is an icon that will pop up to fill these tanks. They hold quite a lot of fuel. This is a 1,000,000 liter capacity diesel tanks. It's 10,000 liters to get you started. One of your tractors that you start with. You can see it's been out in the field a bit. Over here you've got the I built this a long time ago for a different map, but then everybody loved it, so I put it in this map. It's basically a well, it started out to be specifically to make TMR because I'm terrible about using the bunker silos. I don't thrive with that. But I can dump grass and hay and straw and all that stuff into this and create that in the system, and then, you know, it's easy for me. So I like to do it. I just like things that flow through like that. On this side you'll find another, there's a pump here. We pull up to the pump, you'll get slurry out of that. So it will, slurry or... I can't remember if it's not slurry, it's digestate. But you can use the digestate for anything you would normally use digestate for, or you can sell it. You have a storage barn here for bales. There's a bunker silo here. There's a few bales sitting over here from last fall's harvest. I didn't put them away yet. There they are. You can see there's a lot of trees on this map that are mixed. So you see some of these are harvestable trees and some of them are not. Well, I guess they all are, but do you want to cut that down and try to make logs out of it? Not me. This is an in-game greenhouse. I felt like it was boring, so I put the water tank here, and I added the storage tank here, and this is where you put in your seed and your it's seed and fertilizer, and I think that's it. Seed, fertilizer, and water, if I remember correctly. Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but so there is more to it than just water from the base game. And this is kind of your kind of getting started farm. You know, you will not see cows and stuff on this particular farm because I wanted to leave it so people could put stuff where they wanted to put it. This shed here has a whole lot of equipment in it, as you can see. I tried to give you everything you're ever going to need because I personally don't like to start with 2 or 3 items and then I'm short stuff. So you got a mower and windrower, and there's a trailer and a overloader. Well, what do you call this thing? It's a auger wagon. You got a round baler. This is a small plow. You got a roller and a stone picker, and that's a mulcher over there. So you should be able to go through the process, do all the things you need to do. There's in the other barn, there's a spreader for fertilizer and for lime. I mean, this pretty much everything you need to do, you should be able to do without having to go crazy and start over, you know, or start buying stuff or going, you know what I mean. There is a washer in here. Yeah, Yeah, right here. So, and it does work. So you don't need a washer on the farm because you've got one right there. It's in this building. Just pull through here. It's the wash bay. And this little silo right here, this is refillable. This is a storage silo. Right now it's got seed and, let's see what's it got in it. It has lime and seeds in it right now. It will also hold fertilizer and stone. So, should you need to store up some stones or whatever, or some fertilizer or whatever. And then the big ticket item over here is the silo. And this particular silo I put together from a series of other pieces of other silos that I took apart and put together. And somebody accused me of stealing their silo at one point. I was like, look, I didn't, but I just happened to make one that looks like yours. You know, but GSI bins, the Meridian bins are just for looks on the side over here. They look cool, so I put them on there. Over here you will find your control panel, because this is an actual production. This is a dryer, so for corn. And I didn't put anything else in there as dryable, though it would be easy to do if I ever decided I wanted to. I just haven't gotten to that. So you put corn in here, you're going to see down here it's dry corn. And each one of these is a production. But you don't have to activate them if you're just storing like grain in there. But if you wanted to make dry corn, you would have to add propane to the tank that's next to the silo, and then you'd have to activate that one because it won't work unless it's active. So, but you can see each one of these, it's 1.5 million liters. So it's plenty. It's plenty for a farm this size. It's plenty. It could be increased easy enough if somebody wanted to do it. And I have no problem with that. If somebody wanted to get into the map and go into the placeable folder and find the XML for it and change it, go for it. Have a good time with it. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I'm not one of those people that's like, I made that, leave it alone. I don't do that. Here's your propane, and you're going to drop your propane right in here. And propane is available to purchase in town. And what's going on with my... That's kind of weird. Oh well. They're kind of doubled. The markers are kind of doubled, and I don't know why. Anyway, there's propane. Propane is available in town at the... Where did I put it? It's the fuel station? I can't remember, but it's in town somewhere. Oh, no. It's, show you. It's been a while since I put the propane down, so... well, here, let me just show you. This is the map. This is the basic map. We are up here in the corner. This is where our farm is. We own field 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, and 11. Excuse me, 41. Excuse me, 41. There's not, 41, this was supposed to be a grass field, and it's kind of done some weird things, but it's still a field, so plow it up, do whatever you want with it. So you basically own this corner of this whole little corner up here. If you start it in the regular, like in August, you'll have this field here is harvested, and the rest of them have stuff in them. I started it in March, and it's all set up to be, I have to start plowing and doing all those things to start getting the fields ready for spring. This, again, just the way I like to play the game. So, yeah, so the propane is down here at the second gas station. So there's 2 gas stations on this map. There's one down here on the bottom edge, right down here. And there's one up in town, right where the crap is it? Right here. On this corner right here. Unfortunately, a lot of the buildings don't show up on here because all the markers are there, but the buildings just didn't show up when I took the screenshot for the PDA. And because I was initially building it for me, I just didn't care. I know where everything is. So, you know, it's one of those things you kind of gotta put up with, I guess. But once you learn your way around the map, there's some cool stuff. There's a duckies over here. And there's over here. There's a couple of surprises over here for you. Some productions over there. There's a sell point down here. There is a train track that runs through here, but there's no train on the map because I was having trouble with the trigger, and while the train was running fine, every time you'd load it up with stuff and try to sell it, it would just go off and it wouldn't actually sell anything. And I was like, yeah, this is not going to work for me. So I just took it out for now. What happened here? Okay, well there's the animal dealer is down here. It's down in here. I don't know why it's not showing triggers, but it's okay. There is a trigger down there to buy animals. You've got some sell points here. This the farmer's market is up here. There's the dairy is out here. Bakery over here. So, but the majority of this map was built with you also own this. This is a huge grass field. There's a gate on. So there's a dirt road that runs down here between these fields, and there's a gate on one end. You have to own that property, this property. Once you buy that property, you can see it buys it all the way to the end. That's where the dirt road is. So you buy the property, it will give you, I'm sorry guys, hold on 1 second. I apologize for that. Forgot I had an alarm set on my phone. I forgot about. Once you buy this piece of property, you will get the road, and then you'll be able to open the gate on each end. There's a gate here at the beginning, and then there's a gate that goes into here on this side road. It's down about 3/4 of the way down, I guess. And then there's another one down here, and you can use this as a cut through if you want. I will be honest with you, it's not very wide. But the dealership's down here, so if you wanted to come out of the dealership and down through here with something you bought to come back up here to the farm, which you could do, but you're gonna end up going way up here to the dirt road, over here back to the farm. So it's almost faster just to go down the paved road here to the gravel lane and right up into the back of the farm. It's just, you'll have to figure out what works for you as you go, you know. But yeah, so obviously there's no river, there's no ocean, so we don't have any boats on here or anything like that. I do have I'm not gonna lie to you, there is a 4X version of this in process, and once that comes out, we may find maybe there'd be a shoreline or something, and we can drop a boat from the DLC in. There's a way to do that, and it can be done pretty easily actually. So but anyway, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So, this is, like I said, this is the farmyard. Let me just we'll just pop down. Oh gosh, we're gonna save now. Let's just pop over here to, where was I going? Here, we'll go down here, and then we'll just kind of go back up. So you got a sell point here. This is like I said, this track is no longer in service. This is the way I'm choosing to play it. This track used to be in service, no longer in service. No train on it. So this part of the grain elevator does not work. But there is a sell point here where you can come in here and you can sell your goods in here. Certain goods, not all goods, obviously. Over here is your second gas station. Again, this is where your propane purchase point is. So you can there's a trailer in the game that I modded. I built it into the map, so it's in there that will take propane. So you can buy propane here and haul it up to the silo, or you can buy it at the silo. It's just cheaper to buy it here though. Here's your gas station, and these pumps do work. This side doesn't. Those do. Actually, I think you can still fill over there, but the cones are supposed to prohibit that. There's nobody home. It's kind of a self-service, literally. Let's see. So further down, there's going to be another grain sell point down there. You'll also find. We should, you know what we should do? Let's get a. Let's see. I haven't gotten one of those little Can-Ams yet. Let's get one of those, and we will tool around, and I'll show you guys all the little things. Design. Gosh, we got winter, we got summer, we even got auto loading on these. Huh. Snowplow. We got GPS if we want it, and extension. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. Let's keep the extension. Okay, let's buy that. Only because it's the fastest way to get around. Kind of show you guys what we're dealing with here. Okay, so we go to the dealer. It's here. Enter the vehicle. Okay, so here's your dealership. So there's a couple of significant things about the dealership. So that bale pickup wagon is yours. It belongs to you. You own it. Also, inside the dealer, your repair trigger is out by those front doors. Again, I have the markers turned off. So, but you see those two tractors in there? And and that guy right there, those are they belong to the dealership, but you can borrow them. So those doors on the building will open, and they're wide enough you can get those tractors out through them without any problem at all. And the forklift obviously is there just for you to use to load anything that you buy or whatever, anything that might spawn down here that you buy. You know, bags of seed or whatever. A little bit of a town here. General store. There's the spinnery over there. Not the spinnery, the tailor over there. Here's your second gas station. This would be actually gas station number 1 because it's right here in town. But there's a cell trigger at that general store as well. The spinnery is here, so you can sell your wool and stuff. Old abandoned gas station there. Now down here you got the rope production. That's the rope production right there. Obviously there's your big, what do you call that? The warehouse, the logistics warehouse. And then over here we've got, this is the cooperage where the buckets are made. Buckets and barrels. Now there's houses and stuff all along. Some of them you can buy, some of them you can't. Most of them are decorative just because. There is traffic on the map. Could be on. I didn't turn it off, but I haven't seen any immediately. There's your Willow Lumber Company. If you cut across here, you're going to see there's a couple of placeable areas up here. So there's one here and one over there where you can put down, like, I don't know, more placeables. We got a ton of placeable productions now with the DLC out, so might be something you want to consider. And then on this end you got this is the oil mill right there. Oh, and then over here is the cement factory. So that will produce concrete bags or cement bags that you can sell. So you can buy that if you want it. Again, like I said, I have all the markers turned off, so it's just kind of... So let's run up here, and we will run up to the next section of the map, and I will show you that. And then we'll maybe get to doing some work. Maybe. So here's this is the dirt road I was talking about, and you can get around the fence. If you come around here, you can get around the fence. But the idea was that it was supposed to be a private road, you know. It'll bounce and throw you around a little bit. It's not exactly smooth. Yeah, and you can get most things through here. I mean, I've gotten a combine down this. It's tight, but you can do it. But I wouldn't do it with a tractor trailer, probably. This is your gate right here for your grass field. And then on this end here is your gate on the other end. So, and again, you can sneak around it if you're feeling so froggy as to do that. Most of the fields are pretty good size. They're not terribly huge, but they're not small either. And you can see the map's not flat by any means. I like some rolling hills, so that's what I did here. To your right is the bakery, and obviously over here is your farmer's market. Little road right here. Oh, it's kind of a big road. It's a lot wider than I intended it when I built it, but it's good with a tractor. So if you take a right here and go down into the animal stuff over here. This is your animal purchase point, so you can buy animals here, and you'll see there are some kicking around. There's some pigs and some sheep and some cows. Horses down on the far end. The idea was to try to make it a little bit, you know, like it was a live area, like there was stuff actually happening. And it looks a lot nicer once you get the grass in here and everything in the spring. Your animal purchase trigger is over here. Back right up to the door and they'll load you right up. And then I separated out the like sell points and stuff with buy points and that kind of thing because I just felt like I really didn't want them like right on top of each other. And so if you come a little further up here and you're going to see this is a purchase point for slurry and manure. Both of these are purchase points, so you can pull up here and load up some manure if you wanted. Let's see if it'll do it. I need F1. Let me see. I don't know if it'll do it in this or not. You know what I need? Let me turn the things on for a minute real quick. Let's see. Settings. Crops and growth. AI workers. Where is my... Alright, there you go. Just makes life a little easier. See what it'll do it. Oh yeah, we could do it here. So if you wanted to, you could, that's where you would buy your manure. Over here on this in front of this other building is this is where you're gonna sell your bales, wood chips, a few other things. They'll be sold right there. And right over here is your stone sales. If you have stones that you want to get rid of, you can dump them on this pile and they'll pay you a nice price for them. And this other building I haven't done anything with yet. I was thinking about doing some things with it, just haven't. So that's kind of your, you know, if you wanted to buy manure or slurry, that's where you would do it. And then you can sell your bales and stuff there as well. There's some other places you can sell bales, but this is the closest one to the farm. And as you go further out here, you'll see here's the cafe right here on the left. And it's pretty busy. People are there all the time. On the end of the building is a trigger for selling food products. Pallets of food and stuff. Field entrance right there. This is the dairy. And obviously you have to go in behind the dairy to sell your milk and that if you do that. This is not a production dairy. At some point I may update this because I do think it would be cool to add some production triggers into the existing building and have the sell point and the production all in the same place. It'll happen eventually, probably. And one thing you will notice is there's not a lot of roads that go in circles on this map, so you're not going to go down one road and make a circle and come back on the other end. There's a lot of out and backs, so it's kind of because it was modeled after an area that I lived in for a while that was set up like this. It was very much a rural area, and you would drive, you know, down this road to get somewhere, and unless you were going to the next town, you were turning around to go back the way you came to go back. There just wasn't a lot of alternative routes. That's why it's kind of set up that way. So there's a couple options to get back to the farm from here. You could take this road on your right. There's also a field road up here on the left. See the one that goes up the hill? That's to get up into your fields. This one on the right will go down to, goes quite a ways down to one of your fields, and then you'd turn left to go back. And then you've also got this dirt road right here that's another field road that would cut across to the other part of your farm. And you've got one more up here. If you get to the edge of the map, you've gone too far. Don't go all the way off. You shouldn't be able to anyway, but don't. Take a right next to the power station. Head on down. Again, this one's kind of bumpy and it's not smooth. It wasn't intended to be. That's one of your fields on the the right-hand side over here. You own that. It's a pretty good sized field. In the original map, that field was harvested but had bales on it, and I've taken the bales off that field because I always hated a new save where I had to go and, oh gosh, now I gotta go out and pick all those bales up before I can do anything with the field. And I got annoyed with it, so. And this is your road back into the farm. Now I'm going to tell you, if you're trying to drive equipment up and down through this road, it's not easy. I suggest you use those dirt roads because this one's not super easy to get up and down width-wise. So that's kind of a general overview of the map. There's some room to delete some things and do other things if you choose to. Again, I don't have any problem at all with people doing that. It is yours to do it as you please. Once you download it and you decide I'm going to play this map, that's where it's going to be, you know, do it. Do whatever you'd like to do with it. The only thing I ask you don't do is edit it and repost it somewhere without letting me know that you're wanting to do that. There's a pretty good sized piece of grass right here too. You could, I was at one point had a cow barn here and I had cows all out in here, and I still may do that again, but I wasn't happy with the barn, so I took it out. So But yeah, this would normally be soybeans on this field. This would have been barley over here and corn directly out there. And then there's one more field beyond that over by those bins over there. I don't know if you can see the bins. Bins over there. Those bins, actually, you can buy that little piece of land and then you can use those bins if you choose to for storage. But there's another field beyond that that's also soy. So that's kind of what you'd start with. You'd start with the barley, the soy, and the corn. It's going to take you a few minutes to harvest it all because you own quite a bit of stuff. But again, like I said, it depends on how you want to start. And if you want to start this way and you want to roll back your time to like March or something to get started, like I did, all you really need to do is take, you can use, what is it? It's the DevTools mod that we use it a lot in the content world because we have, sometimes there's things we need to do that we need to manipulate something to make it work well for a video or set something up on the farm or whatever. So what I always tell people is if you want to change your times, do it that way. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's really easy to do. And all you have to do is just basically, you go in there and there's a place in there to set a time, the date, just change the month. And it will ask you, oh, do you want to go forward 7 months? But it's not really going forward, it's going backward. It just doesn't realize it is. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is let's get some machinery out and see what we can do with some of this stuff. Now, all of these fields are going to have to be ripped up and tore up and fixed up. Let's see what's good. What does this one need? This was, excuse me, it says it only requests, or only requires plowing right now. Now, who knows what it's going to need after that, but that's a good place to start. We'll get out the plow and a tractor and we'll start working on that a little bit. I should be back on Finlag probably tomorrow. What's today? Today's Friday, so you'll see this on Saturday. So probably Sunday I will post a Finlag video. I think either that or Monday. I'm just not 100% sure yet. Alright, so there's our plow. Let's see, what do we want to pull it with? We've got two tractors right now. We've got a 6R and we've got this old girl here. And I think this will pull the plow just fine. Well, let's give it a run and see. I think it'll do it. But I don't know if it has GPS in it yet. We might have to actually, you know what? I know it doesn't. Let me do this. Let me pull it into the shop and add the GPS real quick. This building has a shop built up already in it, built into it. So all you have to do is pull into this building and you're going to have a shop trigger. The entire inside of this bay is a shop trigger. I probably would have built it a little smaller myself, but being that it's Icus's building, I didn't want to edit his building. He was kind enough to let me use them, so it's kind of like, you know. Let's see, customize. We'll set up you through. Do I have the GPS on already? Oh, I'm in the wrong tractor. Oops, they had the tractor sitting in the building, so. Let's see, GPS installed. I'm gonna crank up the weights a little bit because that I don't know how heavy that plow is. And we're going to put a couple of little things on here. That should do it. Alright, so let's do that. We're going to spend 30 grand on a tractor we already owned. It's kind of crazy, but whatever. This little spot right here where it says it's a fill trigger, that is for your bale, for your pallets. So if you have pallets you want upstairs, you bring them into that little spot there. Pretty simple. Drop them there and they go upstairs. Let me know, guys, if you're having trouble hearing me tonight. It seems a little loud in the tractor to me, but I don't know why. It shouldn't be, but it feels a little loud tonight. I just saw the manual attach came out, but I've seen some people having some trouble with it, so I haven't put it in my game yet. But do you guys use manual attach at all? Let me know. I'd be interested. I like it myself, but you know, some people like it, some people don't. All right, let's get ourselves some GPS lines. Steering assist. Yeah, we'll do them like that. That'll work. The really nice thing about this is I tried to keep it so that if you didn't have like any extra DLCs or anything, you could easily play it still. And I like to keep things kind of easy. And so that's kind of why I do things that way. What's happening right now? Okay, so that's not working. Why is that not working? Sorry, I use I don't know if you guys use it, but SimDash, and I have a panel like right next to me with all my SimDash stuff in it. And today it just does not seem to be working. Crap, I think I got the wrong machine. I think I got the cultivator and not the plow. It's okay. We'll just cultivate it this time. Plow it next time. Like I said, you're going to see there's a lot of trees on this map because I like trees. I just like them. I think it makes the map feel better. It feels more realistic to me. But I would love some input. If you guys, anybody, if you decide to download it and pick it up, I would love some input as to what you kind of think about it. It's so it's with my testers right now, just to make sure we've got all the bugs worked out, and then it will be. Let's see. So I'm recording this on Friday night. It'll probably be Monday or Tuesday before I release the link. But once it's ready to go, it'll be on my itch.io page, simasylum.itch.io. Actually, it's Asylum Modding. Excuse me, asylummodding.itch.io. But I'll let you guys know when that happens. Okay, so this might not be enough tractor for this. Maybe we'll get out to 6R and see if that does a better job with it. I think we should do that. Let's do that. Let's disconnect this right here. Oh, I gotta lift the implement. Let's go over and grab the 6R and see if we can get a little better options here. And it's not a big machine, but I mean it's, you know, more horsepower than this. I figure people will probably switch machines and everything else along the way. One of the things you will notice with this map is you may need a little bit more power on on your machines, because the fields, I've cranked up the ground deformation a bit, so the fields are a little softer than they are in the base game. And that's built right into the map, so you will notice that when the weather's wet, you will sink quite a bit further than when you normally would. Things like that. But I just, you know, I'm going for realism. I want it to play like more like what the real farm would be like, you know. Alright, let's park this bad boy over here. Excuse me. I think we'll drop the bucket off this. Yeah, I think we will. Because we surely don't need it at the moment. I have the real GPS mod in here, which gives you the monitor that you can see on the right hand side over there, with the PDA on it. I think it's kind of cool. I wish it was a little more detailed, but I think it's pretty cool nonetheless. Alright, let's see if we can... You know what I miss? One of the mods that I really miss? There used to be a mod... all over the place. There used to be a mod a while back, and I think it was in 22, where you would have... where was I going with this? Oh, you had the ability to look behind you. Crap, I forgot to add the GPS module on here. We're just going to go for it. You get the ability to look behind you with the touch of a button, so you would spin around and look behind you in your seat. Now you gotta like do this whole like turn the mouse around, you know. But I missed that mod. I don't know. That's something I can set in my... I gotta look and see, because I think I saw something in there that made me think that there's a setting that I could probably set for that. Gosh, guys, I feel kind of unprepared. I didn't get my GPS module put in this thing, and I needed to. You'll see, especially now with this tractor, because this is got the regular wheels on it. You can see there's quite a bit more deformation there. It's kind of interesting. The more I played with it, the more I got really carried away, and I was like, I gotta stop. I'm gonna make this a mess. But you can tweak the numbers. If you know which numbers to tweak in your map, you can tweak the numbers and really make a change in it. And it can almost be bad. It can get to the point where you can't hardly move through the field. And it definitely does affect the power you need to pull implements and things, so... Alright, since we're right here, let's run in. Put that GPS in here while we got a minute. I hope we can afford it. I don't know if we can afford it at this point. This is one thing I will say is there is money to be made if you sell things you don't need. Also, there is material here that you can sell and like that already. So if you're finding yourself short on money, you probably could get by without a loan. And there are contracts on the map and everything, so, you know. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that's the biggest it goes. So we get Ridge PS panorama design, front loader. Installed. Nope, we're not going to put that on right now. We got it on the other tractor and we'll just deal with that. I may sell that other tractor anyway at some point and buy something a little more powerful. And remember, there are collectibles all over the place. So if you need some money, that's another thing you can do is look for the collectibles, because trust me, there's a bunch. And you can pretty much have everything you need to get started. You've got fuel, you've got seed, you've got lime, you've got equipment. You've got if you can't get started on this map without going, you know, without having to buy a bunch of stuff, you probably are doing something wrong. Because it's kind of built, like I said, to be ready to play. One of the things I don't love about every new map that I play, you always have to start all the things again, and it's like, you know, it doesn't need to be like that. But it always seems to be, right? So I like to kind of get things started right away, and I don't like to have to spend a lot of money to do it. There we go, that's a little better, huh? Get 9 miles an hour out of her. So let me know what you guys think. You know, if this is something you'd play or not. Like I said, I'll get the link up for you guys, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's one of those things that I built. Like I said, I built the map in its base form for the general populace. It doesn't have nearly as many trees. It's got a lot different equipment, a lot different kind of layout and design. The basic field design and stuff is the same, but the way things work is a little different on the base map. which that map is available on my itch page. But then this is my rendition for me. This is the, when I want to sit down and play, this is what I play on. I have a long running game save already on this map, starting this one so that I can kind of go through some things with you guys. But yeah, it's just, hopefully it'll be something you guys will like. So, typically when I start a field, I'm going to go in, I'm going to plow that field. And then, if it needs to be mulched, we'll mulch it first. And then we'll plow it, and then I like to roll it. If there's a lot of big stones, we'll pick those up. If it's just small stones, we'll just roll them in. And then, lime and fertilizer, and then plant the field, and then come back and fertilize again after I plant it. And I find that works pretty well. And of course, you do still have weeds to deal with, so you know, having either a manual weeder or herbicide, whichever you prefer. I personally prefer a manual weeder because I have this thing about wanting to try to replicate a farm that doesn't use a lot of chemicals and stuff. Lime and chemical fertilizer obviously are, you know, lime is pretty natural, but chemical fertilizer are not great for the field, right? So there's that. But there's options there. You could use manure or slurry or whatever. All the textures on these crops are new. These are all new textures, and I don't remember who made them, but there's a note in my... Oh boy, what happened there? We went crazy. There's a note in the mod desk of the map that lists out all of the people who had any contribution to it, whether they knew it or not. I guess. But some of the things are like prefabs that people built, or like the crop textures were all prefab crop textures. So I've updated them all away from the base game stuff. And, you know, just that kind of stuff. Oh, that's the wrong... Why are you doing that? Oh, I know why. Because I was in the other lane. Oopsie. I was supposed to go that way. Took a wrong turn at Denver. So, yeah. That's kind of, you know... That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I hope you guys will stick with me while we work this farm a little bit. And like I said, we'll still be continuing the Kinlog map as well. I really like that map, and I'm having a lot of fun on it. I never thought I would, but I am enjoying it, so we'll continue to do that as well. So I will finish this field off, and then the next time I see you guys, we'll be ready to move on to the next steps, or you know, work some other fields, and we'll get ready to start planting for the spring. Alright guys, well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys coming by and checking out the channel and watching the videos. I know that it's not always easy to sit there and watch an hour video or whatever, so I try not to make them that long, but you know, sometimes they just get out of hand. But I do appreciate all you guys, and I will see you next time around. Take care.